Okay, so let's start. Okay. I hope my voice is clear to everyone. Let me check a minute. Okay. So hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be continuing our part 2 of the fitness app that we were creating. In the previous section or in the previous video, we created a very basic 3 pages in it. Okay. And in those 3 pages, we were having a lot of, just a minute. Let me show you the design. Okay. This right here is the design. So yeah, this was the thing that we were creating. So in this, we have already created these 3 pages, three beginner pages, right? Onboarding screens. So how exactly it was looking? Let me show you there. Let's open VS Code over there. And yeah, right inside this VS Code, we have our very own devices and all. So let me start an emulator, and as soon as it will be started, you will be able to see that. Yeah, these all things we have created so far. Let me minimize the screen, and yeah, now it might be clear, right? Okay, so let's just give it a minute so that it can start. Okay, till then, what we will do, we will be making sure that the code which we have created is clear and it's obvious, understood. Okay, so what we have done in this code, we have created a very basic screen. Okay, onboarding screen. Inside this onboarding screen, we are using page view. Okay. So what this page view does, this page view will make sure that we get these multiple pages over there. Okay. So that is what we are trying to use in it. And right after when we will be accessing this page view, we have created a very basic widget that is this context. Let me show you here. Yeah. We have created this tag which has an image and a text, right? Exactly as it looks. Okay. And then by the help of calling a variable again and again, we are just changing the text and we are representing our very basic onboarding screen. Okay. So now what we will be doing in today's lecture, we will be creating our gender, age, and weight sections. Okay. So inside this gender, age sections, we will be creating this page which will be having this different gender options. Okay, and everything. So we will be using that part, and we will be also creating this age indicator in which you have this scroll bar sort of things. Okay, so let's get started. See, this is the page that I'm talking about right here. This we have three screens is there, right? See, meet your coach, start your journey, create a workout plan, and all these things. Okay, so this page has been created. Now, after this page, if you will be clicking on get started, you should be redirected to this gender page, right? So let me do one thing. Let me quickly go to our code, and now we will be creating our gender page. Okay. So this is the onboarding screen. Right after this onboarding screen, we will create a new screen called gender, gender screen. Okay. So we will be creating a gender screen, and inside this gender screen, we will be creating a very basic page that is gender page, gender screen. dot dot. Okay. Inside this gender screen dot dot, we are going to start with the code. So what we need to make sure is that we should be getting this proper gender over there, right? What are things are there? Let me go to this section. Inside this, you have oh, adults. This is the demo page where we have our proper onboarding screen, login, sign up. Okay. So inside this gender screen, what we have to make sure we have to firstly start with our very own import options. So we will be importing our data, that is package flutter material dot dart, the basic import files, and after importing that, we will be creating a very stateful widget. Okay, so we will just enter stateful widget, and I'll name it as gender page. Okay, that's it. We will be creating a gender page, and this is the stateful widget. Now what I'll do, I'll just call gender page right here instead of that. Okay, so this is a gender page I'm going to call, and yeah. Now what I'll do, I'll just restart it, and now you can see we are getting our very own basic gender page over there. Okay, so this part is done, and after that we should be clearly able to start with different screens. Okay, yeah. So inside this gender page, what we have, the first thing which we have to make sure is that we have this heading, tell us about yourself, and what has the we have here particular circular icons and everything. Okay, but if you will make sure that we have this detail page, like detail asking that these headings are repeated again and again. So what we can do, we will be firstly creating a basic page, and then we will be copying that details, and we will create a separate widget for that so that you can access that details again and again. Okay. So let me just close this onboarding screen here, and we will be only going to the gender screen right there. Now inside this gender screen, the first thing that we will start is scaffold. Okay. And after this scaffold, we have what? We have a basic background color. So you can enter background colors dot black. Okay. And we have what? We have body. So inside the body, we are going to create a container. Okay. Now this container will be having width and height. So will be, let's say, full screen. I want it to be full screen. So what I'll do, I'll add variable here that will be storing the size. So variable size should be media query. Media query means it will ask for the size and resolution of your screen. And after that, we will be getting it. So I'll enter size dot width. Okay. And similarly, size dot height. Okay. So we are basically getting all the height and all the width of it. Now, after that, what we have a child, and inside this child, we are going to create a column. Okay. Why we are using a column? Column will be only enabling us to enter the fields one after another. That's why we will use a column. So we'll enter children, and inside this children, the first thing that we need to make sure is creating details. Okay. So what that detail will look like? That detail will be having certain things. Let's do one thing. Let's create that details. So for that, we'll add, firstly, we'll add a sized box here. Okay. So we have a sized box of some particular height. And right after this sized box, we will enter a text. So firstly, I'll enter align. Okay. Or let's do one thing. Let's just enter a text. So we'll enter a basic text here. And inside this text, we will write. What is the title here? Let me check. Tell us about yourself. Okay. So we'll enter that text over there. So I'll enter tell us about yourself. Okay, that's it, and we are going to reload. So now you can see that, yeah, the text is there, but now it's looking good. Okay, so we are getting our text, but we want it to be capital. So I'll do what? I'll change it to uppercase. Okay, to uppercase. That's it, and I'll hit enter, and now you can see that we are getting this proper heading, right? This tell us about yourself, and heading also we are getting, right? Now that's fine. what we have to make sure is we have to make sure that we get all those things proper. Let me format it. And yeah, after writing this text, we need to add more things as well. So font size should be based on the screen because we are accessing the screen, right? So what screen do we need? We need the screen to be size into something. Okay, so size will be somewhat around 0.06 or 0.7 something. Okay, yeah. Now it looks good. Okay. So what we have done, we have created a basic font and everything here, and we have given the styling also to be bold. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give it a very basic line property that is text align. So text align will be dot center. Okay. So that if you will be resizing it somewhat, or if you will be mismatching the size of the screen, still the text will be always aligned in the center. Okay. Now what we have again a sized box. We have to make sure to give some proper width here. Okay. And right after that, what I'll do, I'll give here another container. Okay. Not here actually, not inside the sized box. We will give a container here. Yeah. Now inside this container, we will be having certain values here and which we will be entering. Now what this container will be having, this container will be having some text or subheadings to be precise. So we'll enter child. Child will be a text. Okay. And this text will be what? This will help us to find the best content for you. Yeah. A dummy text I have just added just for now. Okay. So you can see that this is present, but yeah, now you cannot see it that properly. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give some styling here. It's that same old styling that we have created. Okay. Now let me hit run and yeah, now you can see it says this will help us to find the best content for you. Okay. So we are getting this, but what I need to make sure is I need to make sure that this text is also aligned in the center. That's why I'll do what? I'll make sure that our text is getting aligned in the center. Okay. So now it looks somewhat okay, right? Yeah. To give a better experience, we need to know your gender. Yeah, this looks good. Okay. So what I have given proper height and everything. And what I'll do, I'll add the font size also, it's proper. Yeah, that's it. So that's it for the container, right? And right after this container, what we need, we will be adding some more things to it. Okay. What I'll add a sized box here. Sized box, and inside the sized box, we will give a certain heights or anything. Refresh it, format like that. And now after the size box, we need to add a gender icon. Okay. What this gender icon will do, this gender icon will be having some of the things. Let me do one thing. Let me create this gender icon for that. Okay. Let's do one thing. We will create a gender icon as a widget out. Why? Because we are creating a gender icon here is see, we have two icons, male or female. So what I'll directly do is I'll create a single circular container and then I'll be using it for both male and female as well. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do. So for that, we will be creating a class here and I'll name this as class. Let's just create a stateless widget. That's it. Okay, so I'll just create a stateless widget, and inside the stateless widget, I'll name that as gender icon. Okay, so inside this gender icon, it's gonna take few things as an input. The first thing that we will obviously need is the size. Okay, and the second thing will be I'll be creating a gesture detector. Why? Because it should basically respond to our gestures, right? That's why we are going to use gesture detector. Okay. Now this gesture detector has some on-tap features and functionality that we are not going to write right now, but I'm going to create container. Okay. So this container will be having certain paddings and margins. So let's give it a decoration. So we'll give it a decoration of box decoration here, box decoration, and inside this box decoration, we will give it some radius like circular or colors dot white like that. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's align it properly. So what I'll do is I'll add this gender icon here. Let's check whether we are getting it or not. Okay. So inside this container, we have created a decoration that is colors dot white, and this container will be having what shape as well. So shape will be box shape dot circle, not rectangle. I'll add box shape dot circle. Okay, that's it for the shape. And what we have colors as well. So we'll give color property to it. Color will be added here. Okay, so we have already given it color, so no need to add the color for now. And right after that, we will enter child. So child will be what are the things that we are going to store inside a container. So inside that, firstly, we will be creating a column. Why we are going to create a column? We are going to create a column because we have two things here. First is the icon and second is the text. So obviously we want to make sure that it aligns right next to it, right below it. That's why we are going to use column. And then I'll use children. Children means that it will be taking multiple properties or multiple containers into it. So I'll just use an icon. Okay. Now inside this icon, we will be creating basic icon that is icons dot mail. Okay. Or what we have icons like icons will be icons dot female, I capital, icons dot female. Okay. So we have added an icons here. And what we will give some basic stylings and adjustments to this. Let me give it size of this to icon, and yeah, the color will be what? Icon's basic color will be also specified. Let's check whether it's reachable. Okay, so what it says, failed assertion line value. Okay, so box shape circular, box radius null. It's not true. So it's also asking for radius as well, that yeah, what all radius should be there into it. So firstly, I'll do what? I'll give it the padding, the container. Okay, this padding will be edge insets dot all, and inside that it should be having certain amount of padding. Okay. Then after the padding, what we have inside the container also, we have to make sure that we gives them a proper alignment, a proper padding to it. So this is the icon. Right after this icon, we will give a spacing. So for that spacing, we are using a sized box, and then we are going to use a text. Okay. So inside this text, we will basically write female text and all these things. Okay. That's it. What all error answers? Failed assertion line 128 shape is not equals to. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's just comment this out and see whether it's working. Yeah. Now you can see that this is the basic icon or the container that we have created. This has all these things. So let me do one thing. We will leave this circle here. And what I'll do is instead of writing border radius, we will just uncomment this and let's see whether it works now. Yeah. Now you can see that we are getting female and everything properly there. We will adjust the size and yeah. This is how our female container and male container will look. Okay. The colors and everything will be changed according to it. Let me do one thing. Let me give it colors, basic and everything. All the styling part will be done. Just let me complete this for now. Okay, so size will be 0.1. Okay. Yeah. Now this looks good. Okay, so sizing and everything has been done. And similarly, we will be using this to create for mail as well. So what I'll do, instead of writing all these values myself, I'm gonna give it title. So I'll enter title like that. And similar to this icon, we will be creating a variable. Okay, that's it. So what I have given a title and an icon. So for giving that, let's go up here, and right after this, we will enter all these things into it. So what I'll add firstly, I'll define where is final icon. So icon data will be icon. Inside that we will be storing an icon. Then you have a string which will be having a title. And also we need a lot of things, that is on tab, because this gesture detector will be having an on tap property. Okay. So this on tap functionality should be also provided here. So we'll enter this as on tap like that. So we will be having function or final void callback on tap. Okay. Similarly, things has been done. Now, what I'll do, I'll just add these final fields into it and we will format it, right? Yeah, now it looks good. So now this gender icon will ask us all these things into it. Like what are the things you need to add? So what I'll do, I'll add firstly, I'll specify the icon. So icon will be icons dot male. Okay. Okay. Then what you have title will be what? Title will be similar male. Okay. And then what you have after this, you have on tap function. Inside this on tap function, you can provide some of the conditions to it. Okay. That I'll be adding it. Just now it's not there, but I'll be adding that to it. Okay. Then after that, what you have, this gender icon has been done. Then what you have to give a little size box here or little gap here. And then similarly, we will just copy out the same gender icon and we will paste it here. Okay. Let's check now. Yeah, you can see that now it is visible over there, right? Let's format it out. Yeah. And now it looks good. So let's do one thing. Let's give it a little gaps. So yeah, this is 0.55, 0.55, and now it looks fine, right? Let's give it padding also. So which container? Yeah, this container is there, right? Let's give it padding. So what I'll do, I'll give some padding to this container. What padding I'll give to it? I'll give not this container actually, this container. Yeah, padding. Why this padding will make sure this padding will make sure that all those things works perfectly, right? So I'll add edge insets dot all. Okay, inside this we will add edge insets dot all, and in this we will add that it should be having all these widths from all the sides, right? Like from, let's do one thing, let's do only, and we will change it to top. Okay, this top will be having some height, then from left we will be having some height, then right will be having some height, and from bottom we will be having some height. So bottom will be 0.01, right? So yeah, we have given left, right, top, and bottom. Okay, that's it. Now it looks good. So from top we have given the most height here. Let's do one thing. Let's keep it 0.07, right? Or 6. Yeah. Now it looks good and everything is working fine, right? So we have created our male, female buttons here where we have buttons. So inside this you have male and you have female. Okay. So we'll enter female. Let's see load, and yeah, it looks fine now. Female has been done, male has been done, and yeah, let's go to the design and let's check what are the changes that we have to do. Yeah, so we have to make sure to give proper alignments, margin, padding to it so that it should get, all those adjustments and everything. So what I'll do, we will head back to our code and inside this container, we will give the padding to all. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me firstly give the padding to this container and also we will wrap up with padding as well here. Okay. So padding edge insets dot all and yeah, 8. That's it. Okay. So now we are getting this padding over there and let's check for the title font size. Should be 4. Okay. So that is fine. Text size or font size should be right about 20. Now, okay, that's look good. And what you have this property done, then you have column inside that. Alignment is also perfect. And we need to now give them the colors, right? We need to make sure that whether it's getting selected or not, or whether it's getting tapped or not, right? So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to use one more thing. That is, firstly, I'll go to the right top of this page and I'll enter bool is male false or is female false like that. Okay, I'm gonna enter it. So let's keep it is male equals to true default. Okay, then what we are going to do, we are going to use this to make sure that whenever it's getting clicked on, we will be getting proper values. Okay, so set state is male equals to true and is female equals to false. That's what it has to do it. Okay, so what it has done, like usually in the initial state when the app will be loaded, the default will be male selected and the female will be not selected as a default. But you can check that later on. Okay. What now we need to make sure that we have is selected option. So I'll give it your final boolean, not male, is selected. Okay. Now we need to create a final is selected part. Why we are doing this? So that we can create the color logic to it. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll give them the colors. So let me go here. We have colors.white, right? We'll do what? We'll change this to color. And inside that, we'll write that is selected equals to somewhat. That if we are selected, then what the color should be? The color should be colors dot black. Okay. Otherwise, you have colors dot something else. Let's add colors dot primary color. What the color we were using till now? Onboarding screen. Inside this onboarding screen, we have this color, right? That we are using till now. That same color we are going to use. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's define this color somewhere in the const file. Okay. So inside this, we will create a new folder. We will write const thing, okay, constants, and inside this constants we are going to create color dot dot. Okay, now inside this color dot dot, what I'll do, I'll just copy out the same code of our color and I'm gonna just keep it. Okay, so now we have created our color, so we'll make sure that we have this color always present into it. So what I'll use instead of this, I'll use primary color. Okay, so this will make sure to give us primary color whenever we are getting it, right? Let's see what error it's throwing. It's saying that we have not specified this is selected part, right? So let me give it is selected option. Is selected is female. Okay. Yeah. Let's check for whether we have selected is female or whether we are using is male. Let's add here. is selected is nil. Okay, this part is done. Then what you have invalid constant value. So we will remove this constant from there. And now if we will reload it, now you can see that yeah, we are getting this basic color gradation is proper now, right? So what we have to make sure that we do this to all of things here. So we have created is selected. So if the color is selected, then it should be primary color, otherwise it should be transparent. That means it will be background. Then what you have similar things you have to use to make sure to give the color to this icon as well. Okay, so what you will do to this icon, you will give a color here. Okay, so instead of this colors dot pink, you are going to write is selected again. So is selected. So if we have selected it, then you have to give format, then you have to give what colors dot black if we have selected it. Otherwise you give colors dot white. Okay, like that. Let's just reload. Yeah, now it looks, see, colors dot black, colors dot white, like that. Okay, same thing we are going to use for text as well. So what I'll do, I'll just use this line of code. Okay. Is selected is okay. So we have again used the constant here. And I'll hit run, and now you can see that we are selecting female, we are selecting male, female, male, female. Okay. So our gender page has been created. What we have to make sure that we uses a very basic button to it. So let's give that button also here. So right after using this gender icon, we will give them a const spacer. Okay, so this spacer will take all the remaining values, and after that we have a button. Okay, so we will be creating a very basic elevated button or any button that can be used here. Okay, next, like that. We will be modifying it somewhere, but yeah, currently that looks better. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just remove these properties from there. And what you have to make sure, we will be using that button again and again, right? So let's do one thing, let's create that button properly. So we'll go to the models. Inside models, we will create a new file and we'll write detail page button. Okay, dot dot. So we will be creating a detail page button dot dot. Inside that, we will import the files, material dot dot, and inside that, we will be creating a STL, that is a stateless widget. And inside the stateless widget, I'll create detail page. So we will be creating a detail page button. This detail page button will be having certain things to it. Okay, that is an all callback and everything. All these things will be present into it. Like first thing that we need to make sure this button has is text, right? What are the text and everything to it? We will be adding that part. Let's do one thing. Let's currently for this gender page, I'll create this right here. Okay, container. I'll just add a row, and inside this row we have children. So inside this children, what we have? We have to make sure to give them buttons, right? So I'll give them gesture detector. Inside this gesture detector, you have child. It will be a container. Look, I hope whatever we are coding here, everybody is aware about it because we have already covered these things a lot of time now. So I don't think so that people will be having any sort of confusions in anything to it, right? Yeah. So still, if you are not aware about that, whether you should uh, do this or whether you understand it or not, just make sure to check out all the previous videos and you will be able to understand it, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a row. Inside this row, you can see that we have two buttons. First one is a back button and second one is a next button, right? So I'm going to create this button because what we will do, this button you can see is getting used in every page, right? Next, 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 start. So what I'll do, I'll create this button row and I'll add a condition that is first page. So if we are on the first page, then this option will be removed. Otherwise, we will be having it, right? So that sounds good for a logic. So let's do one thing. Let's create that logic. What I'll do, I'll create a container. Inside this container, I'm gonna give some margin padding. Firstly, let me give some height, 50 pixels to be precise. Yeah, let's keep it that for now. And after that, we are going to use a child into it. And right in this child, we are going to write center. Okay. So inside the center, we will be having this skip button. Let me check whether you're getting, see this skip button is there, right? So we will be using that, but I'll name it to back button. What we have done, we have written center, text, and we have back button created. Okay. Font size is also fine. What we need to make sure the color should be primary color. Okay. Reload. Yeah. Now it looks good, right? Yeah. But this container should be having some padding and margin, right? Because it's too left right now. So I'll give it margin as well. So what I'll add, I'll give some margin from the top only. Okay, so let's give it margin from top only top. That's it. Okay. Yeah, this looks okay. And also I'm gonna give some padding to it. Okay. So padding will be not this, padding will be symmetric. Okay, symmetric means that we just want to make sure to give it on some particular sides. Okay, so yeah, padding will be like this. See, horizontal. No, I don't need to give it vertical. Let's just keep horizontal. That means left to right, and that too 0.06. Okay, yeah, 5. Yeah, now it looks good. So back button has been created. Let's format the code, and now it looks good, right? Yeah, let's keep it that way. And similarly, we will be adding a button also here. Same button we will add. So I'll add a spacer. Okay. Spacer will take all the space which is present. And similarly, we will be creating one more button which will be just similar to it, but that button will be having next. So I'll just copy out the same code and I'll paste it. Okay. Let's check. Yeah, back button is there. So I'll name it to next. Yeah, now you can see we have created our very own next button also. And this time in this next button, we will be creating some changes. This next button will be having firstly, the text will be black color. So colors dot black. Okay. So our colors will be colors dot black. And also we will be storing some more things to it. That is font size. So font size will be, yeah, it's already provided. Let's do one thing. Let's just create a container. Inside the container, we will give decorations. Okay. So in this container, we will give decorations. That is decoration. So inside that, we will give what? Box decoration. So let's write box decoration. And inside this box decoration, we are going to give color should be the primary color. And we will give the border radius to be circular. And inside that, we will give some proper values to it. Okay. So that's what we are going to give here. And inside this container also, we will give that same margin and padding that we have already provided up there, right? Okay, this looks good. Spacer is proper, and yeah, now it looks good, right? So we will just minimize this row that we have created. Okay, yeah, and let's check whether we have proper adjustments to it or not. So from the bottom, let's give some more padding so that our container should be little up. Yeah, let's give it 0.02 or 0.3 to it. Okay, yeah. Now you can see that we have our next button also created, right? So in this next button, you can also add some logos or this, uh, container is that. But yeah, our basic layout is completed. Our basic layout looks good inside this. Now we need to make sure to, you know, add a text and back button and everything onto it. So I'll pass on some variables. That is, first variable that I need is final string, the string which will be title, the title or the text. Then what you have some more things. Okay. Then you have callback on press button. So like what exactly should happen if this gesture detector is used, right? In this on press button, right? Remove this. Bro, first day, help karo. Oh, hi, bro. Actually, we have already created the full series, right? Inside this, till now, we have started with the basics. We have already completed a lot of basic parts into it. And now we have started with the application project. So we are going to create this uh, fitness application. Okay. So inside this fitness application, in the previous section, we have created these 3 pages in the previous part one. Today, we are creating this gender page and we are also creating this proper containers and all. Okay, the models which we will be using multiple times, like this buttons, these text, so that we can just reuse it again and again throughout these all 4, 5 screens that we are about to create. So these are the things that we have completed so far, and we are progressing with this now. Okay. So I hope help karo that I hope that I have explained what we are completing or कितना हुआ है क्या बाकी है, right? So if you want to make sure to understand from the beginning, थोड़ा सा पहले से वीडियो को देखना पड़ेगा. Okay. So this part is done. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create this detail button and I'm gonna extract this row, complete row from there, and I'm gonna just paste it right here. Okay, like this. Okay. Similar to it, we will add variables. So now format, copy pasted. What I have just done, I have extracted all those code from that and I have used it here. Okay. Like now if I will use detail page button, you will be able to see that same line of code here. Okay. Without any error. Now, why I have done this? Because I have to use that button a lot of time. That's why I've extracted the code and now I will be doing some modifications to it so that we can use it. Okay. Now inside this details page, the first thing that we are going to use is title because for every button, the title will be different. Hi Aditya, how's going? कैसे हो? सीरीज समझ में आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही है? कमेंट करो. Okay. So first thing that हमको क्या बताना है is text. Okay. Title क्या क्या तुमको चाहिए. So what we are going to do, we are going to write final. Inside this final, we are going to define a string and we will write text. Okay. So this text will be called here inside this next button here. Inside this, we will be calling out the text again and again. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's use this text inside this here. Okay. So this text has been called there, and what you have gesture detectors here. So this gesture detector will be having some on tap functions. So this on tap function will be called as on tap as of now, and we will be calling it out here. Void callback on tap. Okay. Now similarly, what you have a boolean, I'll be creating boolean that is go back button. Okay. show back button. That is a boolean that I have also created. Okay, let's do one thing. We need what? We need one more thing, that when we are basically tapping the on back button. So when we are tapping the back button, we will call a function as on back tap, and when we are pressing the forward button, we will use on tap. Okay, I hope that's clear and it won't be creating any errors. Okay, this on back tap will be okay, having no arguments or anything like that. Let me do one thing. Let me add these field names into the formal parameters. Okay, so this back tab which we have created has a default value as false. Okay, I have given a default value as false to it. Boolean cannot be assigned to the type false. Okay, so what? Okay, the back tab, not back tab. I mean this back button, show back button will be having false as default value. Okay, required parameters. We will remove this required because it's not necessary to add this again and again. So yeah, this looks good and fine. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add one more condition. Okay. What I'm gonna add here is I'm gonna add that if we are going to show the back button, then only give it. Okay. I'll cut that and I'll add a condition that if we are using this show back button, then only you use this. Okay. Otherwise, don't use it. Let's just format it. Yeah. So if we have clicked the show back button, then only I need this to be present. Now, what we have to do, we have to give the inputs to it, detail page. Okay. So let's give this input. So what I have given, the first input is next. Okay. Second is the comment, and there is nothing on the tab. And let's do one thing. Let's give it false. And there will be nothing in the back tab right now. Okay. Because it's not necessary to give it to it, right? Yeah, back tab is not necessary to provide it. Now, if I will reload it, now you can see that this back button is gone, right? And if I will just add through it, then you will be able to see it, right? So this, by this, we have created this button that we can access it throughout multiple screens, multiple pages, right? This will help us to extract the value. Like currently in this gender page, we don't need this back button, so we are not using this back button. But if we will be needing this in this age and height button, and that time we can use it, right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to keep it like this, and similarly, your task is to create screens. Like I would really be appreciating if you guys will be creating this age screen yourself. Okay. Page screen dot, sorry, not dot, this is a folder, right? So rename, just remove this dot, page screen, and inside this we'll be creating a file that is page screen dot. Okay, so yeah, I would really be happy if you will be entering this yourself. So your task will be to create an age screen here. So I'll give stl stateful widget, and this will be having an age page to it. Okay. Now inside this age page, the basic code will be same. You will be having what? You will be having this same scaffold. Inside this scaffold, you will be having a container, and that container will be containing a column. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me just do this much code for you. Okay. And here we will paste it. Okay. So this is closed. Then after that, what is there? Container will be closed, and after that the scaffold will be closed. Okay, that's it for my document, and yeah, now it looks fine. And inside this, what we have children, and that children will be having, first thing is what? The first thing in this children will be having is a button, that text button. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me extract this text button also for you. And yeah, then the code will be way more clean. So to extract it, we will go to the models. Inside the models, we will create a new file and I'll name it as detail page title. Okay, dot dot. Now inside this detail page title dot dot, we will be importing package and we will be using our stateful widget. Let me open it up. Where is the detail page text? Yeah. So inside this, what we are going to use, we are going to use the stateless widget, and the stateless widget will be having detail page title. Okay. And this title will be having the same code that we have created there. So let me do one thing. Let me create a column directly and right inside this column, we will be having what children, and this children will be having all the code. So what I'll do, I'll just copy it from there. Okay, from this particular container, what we have from here. Okay, tell us about yourself and everything, size box. Okay, and then I'll just paste it. So I'll select it from there and cut it out. Onboarding screen, title, age. Okay, so yeah, here I'll paste it. Okay, let's refresh it, and now you can see your text has been gone as of now, right? But now if I will add this detail page title like this, and if I refresh it, now you can see you're getting your text back again, right? So what we have done, we have extracted this title so that we can reuse it again and again. And we have stored this inside our models file, right? We have stored it. And now what I'll do here is I would be really appreciating if you will be title. Okay, this part is done. Then what I'll do, I'll add a spacer. Okay, spacer, and then I'll add detail page button. Okay, this button will be having next as a text, and you have an on tap function to be empty. Okay, that's it. Let's run this age page for now. Okay, let me restart it. Yeah, now you can see that we are getting our very own age page we have created. This age page is visible. Now, what is your exact work is, your homework is to extract all these text and all and create a variable so that we can reuse this text similarly as we have reused these buttons. Okay, and implement all that inside the age screen. Okay, so I hope whatever we have learned in today's lecture was clear and everything which we have completed today was understood by you guys. If you have any sort of doubts and queries, then do comment out. If you have uh, understood each and everything, then do like, share, and subscribe to the channel and share this video among your friends so that whoever wants to learn Flutter and want to create amazing applications like this can just learn all these things. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me comment it. So here we are going to write gender screen, gender page. Okay, models. And what we have created one more thing, that is age page, right? So let's hit like this and I'll be commenting it. Let me do one thing. Let's change it to we will be changing it to something else. Okay, let me just rename it, and I'll be changing it back again. Okay, so our code has been successfully uploaded here inside my GitHub. You can get the code of whatever we are creating from my GitHub here. Let me go here, and inside the repositories we have fit not fitness backend. We have fitness app live. Inside this fitness app live, you will be getting all these things. Okay, I'll be updating the code now, and you will be able to see it. Okay. So this was pretty much it for this video. I hope you have understood whatever we have learned so far. If you have any sort of queries, do comment down below and I'll be helping you out. If you want the source code, the code is available on my GitHub. And if you are liking it, then do share with your friends. This was pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, see ya.